So here's another fairly crazy fight I have. This one is Kimo Leopoldo versus Bam Bam Bigelow, who some of you might remember from pro wrestling. This happened in 1996 in Japan, and back then I don't know if it was quite mixed martial arts yet, or still NHB, so to speak, no holds barred. But as you can see, these guys are, they're wearing, well, Kimo's not, but Bam Bam is wearing footwear. Neither of them are wearing gloves. They're in a cage of a sort, I don't know if it's an octagon or... There's been a few. There's been octagons and pentagons and whatever. There was one that was a square. I don't know if there was one that was a triangle. The corners would be... You don't want to go into those corners if it's a triangle, you know what I mean? But anyway, here we go. Kimo Leopoldo versus Bam Bam Bigelow. I don't know what factors led to this fight occurring. I think Bam Bam here only might have had the one mixed martial arts fight, but we'll see what happens here. Well, obviously I know what happens, but there's Kimo shooting in. It's a funny story about Kimo. Apparently back in the day before he fought Royce Gracie, he was training with a guy who was training with Rickson Gracie. And that guy was doing privates with Rickson and then coming back and showing all the technique to Kimo, which is why Kimo was able to do fairly well against Royce Gracie and when they encountered, because Kimo had learned some jiu-jitsu from this guy who had been training with Rickson. And then apparently they saw each other backstage, and Rickson, when he saw the fellow he was teaching privates to, hanging out with Kimo, his eyes were like, what the hell? Anyway, back in the first UFC, I think they said that, not first, third I think it was, they said that Kimo was like a Taekwondo fighter, which is obviously not the case. He was just a strong dude, full of steroids and Christ, came in carrying the cross and stuff. But anyway, you can see here, he's putting his jiu-jitsu knowledge to work, and he's taken Bam Bam down, he's mounted him, he's slugging away, Now that's something people forget about the mount, is when you're mounted on a dude, man, you can punch down on a guy with ferocity, and his ability to punch up is severely limited. You can see Kimo there is holding the cage, and this is very bad for Bam Bam. It's kind of ironic that he is named Bam Bam, yet, there's Bam Bams going on. It is certainly the punching being rained down by Kimo upon Bam Bam's face here, And as you can see, Bam Bigelow himself, not entirely sure how to escape the mount, And even if he was, having the cage right there to hold on to, very hard to make a person, to bridge and roll a guy when there's a cage there for him to hang on to, Also, you can't hip escape to your guard because the cage is right there, which is something that, reminds me sort of like the fight that happened between Vitor Belfort and Randy Couture back in the day, where, having the floor and the wall there created an entirely different situation, you know what I mean? Because you're not able, like I said, you can't bridge and roll the guy over, you can't hip escape away, Should we be comparing Bam Bam Bigelow and Vitor Belfort? Probably no, but there you go. Rolls him over, gets the choke. It's funny how many of these fights finish with just that, with the rear naked choke from put the hooks in, seal the deal, But there you go. I wonder who that guy is in Kimo's corner. Whatever. There's Bam Bam. He's like, all right, well, that was a bad idea. I'll go back to pro wrestling and, do some more. I don't want to say that pro wrestling is choreographed because you're getting beat up, but it's, maybe it's scripted, so at least you know what's going to happen. Or maybe you don't if it goes off the rails. Anyway, there's Kimo winning the fight, and Bam Bam not winning the fight. And, what are you going to do? Such is life. Kimo's like, don't give me the towel, I just want to go have, let's go have some sushi somewhere, That guy that's in his corner looks familiar, I don't know who it is. If you know who it is, put it in the comments below. Anyway, and there goes Kimo off through the crowd to celebrate his victory over Bam Bam Bigelow.